It's not that A&M lost to Tennessee, right? Let's go ahead and be honest before we get into the intro. It's the fact that A&M lost to Tennessee, that A&M lost to Alabama. It's the fact that they lost to Miami. It's the fact that they went 5-7 last season. It's the fact that it's the same story every time there's an opportunity. We know what's about to happen. It's about when they punt the ball and get it on the 1 yard line, and all of us knowing it's going to be a safety, a pick six, a punt return for a touchdown. Something's going to happen, or A&M having a chance at the end of the game, and we know that an interception or something bad is coming. That's what this is about. Welcome into the TexAgs post-game wrap here, as it is brought to you by Higginbotham Insurance. A&M falls 20-13 to Tennessee. You probably only think about insurance when you need it, but at Higginbotham, they think about your risks for you because they want you covered all year long. They start by listening and ending with a custom solution that fits your needs and your budget. They do it all: home, health, business, employee insurance. Higginbotham's got you covered. Higginbotham is a place that leads with value so that your value leads. Call Tyler Smith at 979-871-3162. So the defense, while they had their issues, right, the defense had a real hard time stopping the Tennessee run. How many offensive touchdowns did they give up in this game? I'm trying to do the math here. Looks like just one, right? They give up one offensive touchdown. They played pretty well. Like, let's go ahead and be honest. It wasn't the prettiest performance, but you give one touchdown to Tennessee, who seemed to move the ball at will. They had 123 yards rushing at the half, or excuse me, at the half. You're thinking to yourself, this is going in one direction, but they had only given up one score. It is the offense, and it's been the offense for a long time. And some people have come at me for some comments I guess I made about Max Johnson being an elite quarterback. I don't remember saying that. I do remember saying, and if I did, whatever. I do remember saying that most teams in college football, and especially in the SEC, would love to have Max Johnson, and he would start at a bunch of places. I think it is the offensive philosophy. And even though Bobby Petrino came in here, either he has gone a little too neutral, a little too conservative, or the influence of Jimbo and him together has gone very conservative, because what you've seen is a team that is not moving the ball in SEC play at all. You're seeing a team that is struggling offensively and a defense that brings it, but it's not enough. And yeah, no pointing fingers, but there's a lot of reasons for fans to be upset, and I understand why people come at us. Yes, there was problems with the snaps today. There was a drop. There was interceptions. I mean, how many different special team issues? How many different things can pop up? And when you go on the road and lose your 8th straight game on the road, you haven't won against a ranked team on the road since 2014 when Kevin Sumlin was the coach. That's too long, guys. It is too long, and I understand everyone's pain. And look, I feel for those players. I sure do. I feel for the coaches. I feel for all of us. It doesn't matter. I want results, and that's what we aren't getting. And it is a rough time. Look, we knew coming to Neyland Stadium was going to be tough. People got mad at me for predicting a Tennessee victory. The reason I predicted a Tennessee victory is because of things we saw today, the kind of mistakes that we see on a consistent basis. Let's bring in the panel to talk about it, as we always do. Chris Taylor and Brandon Leone joining me on all these post-game shows here the last 2+ years. Brandon, we'll start with you today, man. You always have some really good thoughts after a loss that get me thinking about something I haven't thought about. So the floor is yours, sir.
I think you said the word consistent multiple times, and we are consistently inconsistent. And I think that this program has every single thing necessary to win, and I'm just so tired of talking about it. I know you are. I appreciate your passion. I literally can just see, Nuño, that you care, and everybody else that watches this program that's not blind by loyalty can see that you care. We all care. And I'm tired of consistently being disappointed and pissed off in big games. And so for 2 weeks in a row, this is the thing that I think has stood out to me. For 2 weeks in a row, we've had the lead against two teams that I think we have more talent than on the roster. Maybe Alabama, actually, no. But this was the worst Bama team I think we've seen since we've been in the SEC. We let that one slip away at home. 12th man freaking gave everything, and the players did too. But listen to this, Nuño. The second half offense the last two games after having the lead and being in control, 6 total points. Listen to your drive summaries. Bama, interception, punt, missed field goal, safety, field goal. Tennessee, punt, punt, punt return for a touchdown, field goal, missed field goal, interception, interception. There is entirely way too much talent on this football team for that to be our results. And so I just think that everybody's disappointed because you think someone tweeted at me in the game and says, I'm so tired of should have, because one of the leads was like, some guy said Texas A&M should be up by 20. And someone responded to me because I retweeted it, and he said, I'm so tired of should be. And so am I. I mean, genuinely, we've been doing this together for a long time, and I'm just really tired of seeing us waste opportunities. Jimbo Fisher says we got to coach them better and execute better. Yeah, I think that's an understatement. We're underachieving as a football program. This was the sloppiest football game I've watched in a long time, and I think that we should have walked out of there comfortably today. I genuinely believe we should have walked out of there comfortably, but our big time players got to make big time plays. But I'm so tired of the conservative calls, man. Someone said online, like, it was the right call again to run the clock out before the half. No, it's not. You play scared. Your team sometimes looks scared, and everything flows from the top. And so leadership, right, all the way down, it flows down. And the inconsistency.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon, I didn't tweet it, but I did say it because I just know how this script goes because we saw it last year at Bama. Same situation, 35 seconds left, and Haynes threw an interception. Bama got the 3 points because of it. And instead of winning the game at the end of the game, you have to score with a field goal. You're having to score a touchdown. That was my thinking. But I understand your point. It's just I know how this story goes.
Right. That's it.
If and so continue on. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you didn't. I mean, it's fine. But here's another example. It's 4th and 5 on the road. It's really hard for players to execute on the road when it's loud. And you're asking your kicker to make a 50-yard field goal, right? And I know it's like a kicker's supposed to do his job. Man, it's 4th and 5. Go for the freaking first down. I mean, again, maybe I'm wrong in that, and maybe that I'm just being a sideline coach and I sound like a negative Nancy. But for me, I'm like, let's go win. You haven't won a ranked football game in a very long time. Don't just settle for the conservative thing. The right thing to do is kick a field goal. Go score a touchdown or try. You're averaging 30 yards a punt. We got our tails kicked in the battle of hidden yardage on special teams. So don't just try to go score a touchdown. For me, man, you should have called a timeout after that tackle before halftime. You have 2 timeouts and probably 2.5 minutes left to go and try to score, or 2 minutes at least. Give your players a chance to go and win football games. So I'm disappointed. I know we all are. And I'm frustrated. It's hard to even think straight on these things because it's like getting on here and talking negatively about your family, about something that you love so much. And, you just want to not be disrespectful and understand that people have jobs. And it's just frustrating, man. It hurts. It genuinely hurts deep.
CT, let's keep it on the offense for a moment, and I would love for you to give me the overall thoughts as well, but I just want to give this backdrop to you. Remember, Feed the Studs was a thing, and it was a thing in the non-conference, and it felt like they were going to do it. Here's how many times they fed Aniyah Smith. He's got 1 reception for 20 yards. Evan, who did have a drop in this game, by the way, 4 catches, 48 yards. That goes into why your offense didn't produce, CT, all years.
Yeah, I think it's tough when you can't protect, and we've struggled up front. I mean, the last 2 weeks in particularly, it's a glaring, it's ugly, and we just have not been able to protect. And so, everything starts up front. But, if our quarterback is spending most of his time on his back, it's hard for him to be able to put his foot in the ground, make those reads, and drive the football downfield. Now, not to say that Max isn't holding the ball and going through those progressions. And, I wanted to sit and listen to the halftime show to see kind of what the analysis and the breakdown was. And they made a great point. Max needs to speed his drop up. He's so slow in his drop that, as he's processing and he finds the guy can break open, but he hasn't got to the top of his drop yet to be able to drive it. And, that happens on some of the plays. Other plays, he gets there and he's holding it and he's locked on one guy. So there, again, we talked about this last week. There's enough to go around. And like Brandon said, I don't want to sit here and bash Max and say that, He's not getting the job done, and things are like, things like that are not happening. Quarterback is a tough spot to play. It's a tough position to play. And so I think that there's a combination of things that has us off. One guy is not here when he's supposed to be there. And, the biggest thing is I don't know how to fix it. It's a huge difference from 2 weeks ago when we played Arkansas and coming into Alabama and knowing that I thought we had the better team to be able to win that game comfortably, and then going into Knoxville the same way. And so offensively, second half woes, I don't know. And, as I think back 7 games in, I think today was the first time I saw a screen. If your guys are struggling up front to protect, get your quarterback off the spot, incorporate some screens, some quick throws, get it out of his hands, and try to help those guys up front. And we don't seem to be doing those things. So, 7 weeks in, first time I've seen a screen. I don't know that I've seen many trick plays. It's a very conservative style offense, and we just haven't taken the lid off this thing. We're not feeding our guys, and I've said it all along. I think we have one of the best receiver corps in the country when we're able to get the ball to them in space and let them go to work, and we're just not doing that. So offensive woes are going to continue. They're going to continue until we shore up the front or help them out by getting the ball out quickly, incorporating some screens. Where's a reverse? Do something that's out of the norm and that makes the defense have to prepare because they've seen it on tape. So it's tough to watch week in and week out, especially in the second half, but something's got to change. They've got to fix something.
CT, I'll keep it with you. I think one thing that really bugs me is every week, Alabama's got the greatest defense, and, Tennessee, they got a great front. It's always something. And one thing that I do always try to keep it real. I understand that people think that I was high on this team coming into it. I said we were a 9-3, 8-14. Right now, it doesn't feel like it. The reality is it doesn't feel like that. But I did always say I got to see it. And I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing an offense that moves the ball in SEC play at all. I'm not seeing a team that's making adjustments at the half. I mean, I know they're making adjustments. They're not just going into halftime, just sitting there looking at each other. I'm sure there's things being discussed because I think defensively, they look like they made adjustments stopping the run. Yeah, Tennessee still rushed for 233 yards, but it certainly seemed a little bit harder. And it was like at the end of the game when they're back, or the game felt like the defensive line was getting a little tired. Plus, you lost guys, CT.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at, we're fourth quarter, we have the football, we're in a position to win the football game, but for whatever reason, we're not getting those things done and getting it closed out. We have all the talent. We have, if you looked at the graphic, I think it was Georgia and Alabama maybe had the only two better rosters than we did. Defensively, I tweeted out, those guys are playing out of their minds. They're giving our team an opportunity. At some point, somebody has to make a play. We can get things blocked up and then we don't make the throw. Or we can get things blocked up and we drop the football. Or we have guys that break open and we don't protect up front. So it like I said, there's a ton to go around. As an offensive guy, it's hard to watch. I'm sitting there and I think the combinations and things, it just seems off. And like Leone says, this one you're at a loss for words because, again, you don't want to be bashing. This is still the Aggie family, and you don't want to bash anybody. But again, like you said, Nuño, we want results. We want to see things. We're in year 6, and where we were looking at 9-3, 10-2, having a chance to go to Atlanta and to be able to kind of celebrate that first SEC West championship. This thing is kind of trending towards 7-5, and that's not the way that you want to go. So it's again, I have no idea what's going on with the disconnect and not being able to get on the same page and be able to score those points in the SEC. But this is a tough league. This is a defensive league. But at the same time, we have guys across the board that are more than capable of making plays, more than capable of really busting out and making that huge play. And for whatever reason, it's just not happening, and we're struggling to score points.
Brandon and CT, you can jump in on this afterwards if you want. I've never been in a halftime of a college football team, all right, or mid-season. How hard is it to adjust? And when I say adjust, here, like if I play Madden and I know they're getting back to me, or they're getting to me every play, I'm going to throw fast, right? So how hard is it to be like 5 games in, 6 games in? All right, Max, he's going to run a slant, and he's going to run a slant, and it's going to be two-step drop, and you're throwing. And if he's not ready, you're going to throw to the middle of the field because the tight end's there. But it's got to be 1, 2, 3. Is that unrealistic in a college football environment with obviously better wording and coaching, Brandon?
It's not hard at all. The position coaches come in there, everybody breaks off to their thing. You get together, or maybe the head coach comes in first, talks to everybody for a few seconds. You split off to your coordinators for a few seconds, then you split off to your position coach. And good coaching makes adjustments right away. And again, you go back and listen to those second half offensive drive sequences that I shared with you. And if we are making adjustments, then we need to completely scrap everything and start over, because it sure the heck doesn't look like it. One of the guys commented a second ago from YouTube, I think, that how are all these Pac-12 offenses so explosive? All these other teams seem to be so explosive, and they have less than we have. And I know that quarterback play is tough right now because O-line play is tough right now, but something from an adjustment standpoint is not happening. And then the other thing, CT, maybe you can build on this and we'll just keep this going. I just think that we have missed so many opportunities, and it's typically happening in little normal sequences that people don't think about. I said it in the first half. We're up 7-0. Defense got a great stop, like CT said. We got the ball. Crowd's kind of out of the game. It's early. You have an opportunity to go and insert your will on this team and go. We go 3 and out. We hit one of our best players on the program in his chest. He drops it. It was a missed opportunity. Again, plenty of blame to go around. Then we punt it. They come back down and they score. So instead of going down and making it a 2-possession game, maybe getting a field goal, being 10-0, the crowd's even more out of the game, putting more pressure on their team, we waste that. Those are little things that you don't really think about, because we all think about the big things like tripping on 4th and 1, a missed opportunity, missing Moss on the sideline, Nuño coming out of the backfield. He goes downfield 30 yards. Max hangs on to it or didn't like up, whatever. These missed opportunities, man, they add up. And all it takes is 3 or 4 of those missed opportunities to make a game or break a game, and we keep missing them. And it sucks.
All right. So people are commenting, is TexAgs going to go after Jimbo? I just because I am not mean at going after people, if you can't read or if you can't understand, decipher that we have a problem with the way the direction this program is going, and the program starts with the head coach. If you don't understand that without us being mean and being like, oh, I want to fight Jimbo. No, I just want to fight the trolls that have fake names on the internet. That's it. I'm not here to fight Jimbo. All right. It is not good enough. I do like Jimbo. I think it should work. It's not. And here's my biggest problem. CT, help me here. Brandon touched on it. All right, there's a drop. There's an interception. There's a false start. There's a punt return for a touchdown. There's bad punts. It doesn't matter what they fix. 7 new things pop up that are bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes back to those adjustments. I mean, you go in at halftime, you're not putting in a whole new game plan. And you're tweaking the things that you've seen on tape. You're tweaking the things that you've seen them do, and you're making adjustments to those things. And for whatever reason, we're not doing that. And it could be Max is reading zone and our receivers are reading man. I mean, on offense, the craziest part is one person does their job wrong and the whole play breaks down. Whereas you go to the opposite side, you can have 10 guys do the wrong thing, and you have a guy that makes a heck of a play, and it looks like they're geniuses in calling plays. Offense is tough for a reason. I mean, all 11 guys have to be on the same page. They all have to be doing their jobs at a high level. And, we're not excusing anything that this team has done. It's just we're just as frustrated, as Aggies. We've played the game. We've been around the program. We've done all these things. So we're just as frustrated as well. And the problem is we're kind of at a loss because we're not in the locker room. We're not around the team every single day. We're not having those conversations. And it is hard to watch because we bleed and we love this team and we love this university and everything that it stands for. And, it does start from the top. And, I tweeted it right before half. It was a replay of Alabama. Why not take the time out? So it does start at the top. It trickles down. And Leone, you hit it on the head. When your head coach plays conservative and, doesn't have that killer mentality, I think your football team mirrors they mirror who their head coach is. The Oregon head coach, where I thought he was wrong today, the guy is an assassin. He believes in his team. He believes in his offense. He goes for it on 4th down around the goal line twice. He goes for it at the end of the game. Now, right or wrong, he believes in his guys and he gives them the opportunity to go out there and make mistakes. And I think that our guys are so afraid to make mistakes and so scared to do the wrong thing because, it's going to hurt the team or I'm going to get screamed at, that we go out there, we play conservative, we play tight, we play scared. And when these moments, when the game is really, really tight, we don't make the plays that we need to be able to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
So somebody says, not be mean, but tell it like it is, Thad. Are we not telling it like it is? I mean, I'm sorry. Did I say that I enjoyed the play calling today? I don't think I did. Brandon, did you enjoy the play calling today?
No.
Here's one. Did we talk about maybe throwing it a little bit quicker? Here's another one. On 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or 3rd and short, is it possible to maybe run a quarterback sneak? I know it seems like that is too new age to do, but to me, every once in a while, when you need inches, quarterback sneak, I think I could try and maybe get those inches. Am I wrong here, Brandon?
No, man. And sometimes I think I just am so interested to hear people's comments on this. I guarantee you that they agree. And I'm not saying that to be confident, but I feel like sometimes when you watch football at a high level, these guys that get paid a whole lot of money, sometimes they overcomplicate things instead of being simple. Or sometimes they kind of maybe stick to the script way too often. It's like CT said, we're not talking about coaches going in there and changing the entire offensive philosophy at the game, but we are talking about make adjustments that are playing to your quarterback's strengths right now, or maybe to the fact that the O-line is having some struggles. Maybe make some changes to tell Max, you will not hold the football longer than 1.5 seconds. Because after that, we're not picking up blitzes. Our guys aren't adjusting. We got to protect you. You got to get rid of the ball. Something. We'll readjust and head back into our normal game plan next week. Go for a freaking quarterback sneak. Don't go backwards. Go forwards. You need this much for the first down. So no, you're not being crazy by saying maybe we should have tried a quarterback sneak. And here's the other thing about people talking about calling for Jimbo's head or saying all these crazy things on here, man. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want to say about the dude. The reason that this is hard for me is because I can tell that he cares. I really think that he cares about our guys. I think that the guys can tell that he cares because they seem to defend him all the time. And no one wants to see a guy that's a professional, that tries and that cares, not do well. But at the same time, he is a grown man. He is making $75 million. And the results for the investment, the return on investment, it's just not been there yet. So everybody's disappointed. He's a big boy. I'm sure he can handle it. And anybody that has a job that they're paid to do understands that it's a results-based life sometimes. And we're not getting the results that we need. We're not getting the results that you think we should have with this type of talent and these type of resources. And I don't know how much more plain we could say it. I mean, we're all pissed off and disappointed, man. We deserve better. The players deserve better. The fans deserve better. And we should be doing more than what we are. I mean, I don't know how much more plain to say it.
Well, here's the thing, guys, and we need to wrap this up because, I don't know, I'm just angry. Here's the bottom line. Close games, they don't win. I mean, just at the end of the day, home games, close. I mean, have they? Of course. But, like, LSU was a beating. Arkansas was a beating. Auburn was a beating. Close games. We can go through all of them last year. There was a lot. We can go through a bunch of them from 2021. Let's go through some close games this year. Bama close, loss. Tennessee, 1-score game, loss. They're not winning close games. And when you lose close games, this program has not won against a ranked team on the road since 2014.
0-8.
Why do I feel like I'm talking like this? Like I'm like up and down, but that's just how I feel. So you guys just kind of wrap it up where we are with things, and I'm sure Billy and I tomorrow on the Lucha will have some more to add to it.
Go ahead, CT.
Man, the 2 weeks after Arkansas, like I said, you're feeling great. 0-2, following 4-3 overall. You've lost 2 in conference. You need a bunch of help. It's tough. It doesn't get any easier. You're in the SEC. You still have road games against a ranked Ole Miss, a ranked LSU. So something has to change, and it has to change quickly. But, I don't think anybody's excited about the result. These people, like you said, Leone, they're paid a lot of money to make these adjustments and get things done. And so, we have what we have. Jimbo's our head coach. He's got to go and make the adjustments. The players have to do the things necessary to get better this week. Coach them up. They've got to go out and do the things that their coach should do. And I just think that the one thing that there are two words that I think this team has to establish and has to do it in a hurry, or we're going to keep talking about this. They have to get they have got to get more consistent with the things that they do well and limit those things that they're not doing well. And I think we've got to get a little bit more creativity and start driving the football down the field and giving our guys and playmakers, the chance to go and make big plays and blow games open. Defense has played lights out. I have no problem with the defense, although I keep screaming. I hate the 3-man front. I wish we could stay out of it. But we're bending. We're not breaking. Defense is playing their guts out. Offense has to give them some help. So first opportunity we have next week. We'll see what happens.
Catherine keeps asking if Jimbo's had his press conference. Yes, he did. He had it about 30 minutes ago. I was in there. Brandon, I'm going to read this to you as you wrap it up. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to say it out loud. A&M has allowed a non-offensive touchdown in 4 straight games. All right, just so think about that for a minute. The punt return for a touchdown today, the safety against Bama, the pick 6 against Arkansas, and then the Auburn return for a touchdown. Didn't I just say there's a bunch of games that come down to a score or less over the last couple of years? Now respond.
Consistently inconsistent. We have got to clean the football program up in all 3 phases of the game. I mean, we are in the SEC. This is the best conference in college football with some of the best coaching in college football against some of the best talent in college football. And if you can't play clean all 3 phases across the board every single week, you will lose these close games. You mentioned close games. You give up non-offensive touchdowns, you typically lose. You have more than 10 penalties, you typically lose. You don't score when you get into the red zone more than 50% of the time, you typically lose. And so as you head into the rest of this season, the only way to potentially salvage this football season with this type of talent is to go and win every single game. Do I think that we can do it based on the talent that we have? Absolutely, yes. Do I think that we will if we don't make significant changes with the way we approach and how consistent we are? Absolutely not. And so I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I know a lot of people are. I still believe that they can go and get it done, but they got to show it. It's 0-0 next week. Season's toast. If we lose another game, I think the season's toast anyways, but you can still go and win out and have a chance to get 10 wins. But you got to win every single game. I would love, listen to me, let me be very clear. There's nothing I would love more than for everybody to tweet at me that I'm an idiot, that I hate A&M or that I doubt us and that we win out. Please, I would do anything in the world for that to happen. I'm afraid it's not going to, but I'm going to still be here every single week supporting them, watching them, and cheering them on like I know I will for the rest of my freaking life, no matter how sad or mad it makes me. So let's go beat the hell out of whoever's next. I don't even know who's next. I'm so mad right now.
We're going to win the bye week. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Sweet.
CT, Brandon, great job as always. Talk to you soon, guys. All right, that wraps it up. Look, it ain't pretty. It hasn't been pretty for a while. And I did expect for the offense to be better this year, and it looked better. I want to get back to what I saw in the non-conference. I want to get back to what I saw against Miami. We haven't seen that. So thanks for everybody who watched this, and don't let apathy set in because changes aren't made with apathy. And hopefully the best result is what Brandon said there. This team wins out. That's the best result. But I don't even know if we're going to win on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1. So thank you very much for watching. We'll catch up with you guys next time and gig 'em.